Good morning, dear students. I hope you are good, fine, and fit at home. Today, we are beginning with third term, Unit 1. It is a prose, very beautiful and interesting prose. You can read this prose and understand it. You can see a man here. He is the author of this prose. He is Jules Verne. Now let us see a little bit about him, the history of him. Jules Gabriel Verne was born on February 18, 1828 in Nantes, France. His father was an important lawyer and he always wished Jules to follow his steps. Jules found his interest for writing at school by listening to his teacher's stories about her sailor husband. In 1849, he obtained his title as a lawyer, but he abandoned his career to become a writer. His father's upset stopped supporting him financially. At 22 years old, he started writing theatrical plays that had a modest success, and he became secretary of the National Parish Theatre. On 1863, he published the first of 60 novels, which he would call the Extraordinary Voyages. Among them, Around the World in 80 Days and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. With his imagination, was able to predict great scientific achievement after his time, such as the electric submarine, video conferences, and trips to the moon. This is what all about him, children. Now let us see little more about him. That is, Around the World in 18 Days is a classic adventure novel. In 1950 and 2000, they have taken a movies on Around the World in 80 Days. But our prose is very little bit of it, that is Journey by Train. So dear children, after this class, you can watch the movie Around the World in 80 Days. Just you type on YouTube search and you will find this movie. You can watch it. It is a traveler adventure novel. This novel is written by French author Jules Verne. He is a novelist, poet, playwright. It was published in a newspaper. Later on, it was published in book form. Everyone liked and praised about his novel. The mood of the novel is adventure and excitement. He was recognized for his magnificent work and incredible patience. Now, let us see the lesson, that is the prose, Journey by Train. This extract, that is the passage, is taken from the classic adventure novel Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. An Englishman, Mr. Phileas Fogg, along with his French attendant Passepartout, attempts earnest to go round the world in 80 days on a wager. Wager is an act of gambling of 20,000, roughly 1.6 million today, said by his friends at the Reform Club. That is a change or make change. So, dear children, read this extract where Phileas Fogg travels through some parts of India at a time when the railways were being built in the country. So, at that time, the railways were built in our country, that is India. So, they came by ship, that is Mongolia, and they are traveling by train because those time itself the train was available, it was built. Some places are spelt differently as the book was written over a century ago. Some places it is written in a different form because it was written a century ago. Century means many years ago. The train had started punctually on time. The train was started. It was going through the mountains, the forest, so that you can see here many animals, the creatures. It was crossing through the mountains and the forest. You know that in the forest and the mountains, what all the things lives there. You know, few houses only you can see in the mountains and the forest, but the animals, the wild animals stays over there in the forest and the mountains. So the train was passing through that way. It started on time. Punctually it started. Among the passengers were a number of officers, government officials and merchants. Not only Mr. Phileas Fogg or his attendant, that is Passepartout, but many people were traveling by that train. So, dear children, you know that the train was not passing through the towns and the cities, but also it is passing through the mountains, the forest. So that you can see here the wild animals that are living here and crossing through the train track and so on. So it was the station, railway station was built those time and the people started to travel. The train had started punctually. Among the passengers were a number of officers, government officials and merchants. Passepartout in the same carriage with Mr. Fogg and a third passenger occupied a seat opposite to them. This was Sir Francis Cromarty, one of the friends Mr. Fogg made on the ship Mongolia that brought him to Bombay. The ship brought him to Bombay. An hour after leaving Bombay, the train had passed the bridges and the island of Salsette and had got into the open country. During the night, the train left the mountains behind and passed Nasik, and the next day proceeded over the flat. Proceeded means moved over the flat, well cultivated country of the Gandesh with its straggling village. Straggling means spreading out in a different direction, above which rose the towers of temple. You know, children, the temples were there on the mountains and so on. It was a big temple. This fertile territory means rich vegetal area. So it was passing through Nasik and it was proceeded means moved to other over the flat, well cultivated country of the Gandesh with its straggling village, above which rose the towers of temple. It was crossing through a village, and through that village you can see that rose the towers of temple, a big temple. This fertile territory is watered by many small rivers. It was going through many small rivers and clear streams mostly tributaries of the Godavari. Tributaries means a branch that flows into the mainstream. It was going to the river Godavari. Passepartout, on waking and looking out, could not believe that he was actually crossing India in a railway train. The locomotive, guided by an English engineer and fed with coal. So Passepartout was going out to sea. It was crossing India in a railway train. The locomotive, guided by an English engineer and fed with coal. Earlier the train was running with a coal. Now you can see that they put diesel or petrol to run the train. Earlier the coal was used to run the train. So it was guided by an English engineer and fed with coal. Throughout its smoke the smoke was coming up with the coal. Lot of smoke was coming out from the engine. So smoke was upon cotton. Cotton, the plants are there in the land. Over the coffee, you can see here coffee seeds, nutmeg, this is called the nutmeg, and clove, this is called the clove, and pepper plantations. The pepper plantations. While the steam curled means you can see of hair, curled hair, in spiral around the groups of palm trees, in the midst of which were seen attractive bungalows. You can see the bungalows, the big buildings. These are the palm trees, in the midst of which were seen attractive bungalows, vigars, sort of abandoned monasteries, that it can be churches, convents, etc., and marvelous temples decorated by the rich work of Indian architecture. Children, earlier temples were beautifully decorated with an architecture. The statues are very good. Then they came upon vast area extending to the horizon. Vast means placed in the control of a person, authority. Horizon means the line at which the earth's surface and the sky appear to meet. With the jungles where snakes and tigers lived. You know that in the jungle, what are the animals? The wild animals lives. These creatures fled at the noise of the train. When the noise of the train came, they came out and they were moving, crossing the track and moving on. Then they came to forest where elephants stood gazing. Elephant stood gazing means look steadily. Elephant stood gazing with sad eyes at the train as it passed. At 12:15, the train stopped at Rahambur. The travellers made a hasty breakfast. Hasty means quick breakfast, and started off for Asahar. Now they travelled along the banks of the small river Tapti, which empties into a gulf of Gambare near Surat. Then, towards evening, the train entered the valleys of the Satpur mountains, which separate the Gandesh from Bundelkhand. It was 3 in the morning. That is what all about.